Hi, I'm Chris the Credit Guy. Thanks for watching this video. If you're watching it on the internet, you can get my complete credit restoration video series for free on my website at christhecreditguy.com. And as always, I'm available for private individual consultations, and you can email me at info@christhecreditguy.com for information about that. This video is going to go over the different methods that you have to obtain a copy of your credit report, which is vital obviously because you need to see what's in your file in order to help you to increase your scores. So there are lots of different methods to get your credit report, and there are advantages and disadvantages to each of them. And it's very important because the way that you get your credit report actually may make it either easier or more difficult to restore your credit. So the first thing I want to go over is the difference between the types of inquiries into your credit that you can get. In the industry, they're called hard inquiries versus soft inquiries. And you don't need to know a lot of the details about it, but whenever someone pulls your credit as if you're gonna be applying for credit, like if you're applying for a home or a credit card or a school loan, a mortgage, even at a furniture store, or even if you're going to rent an apartment and you apply and your credit is pulled, those are all hard inquiries, and it's pretty complicated to know exactly how much they count against you, and you don't need to know that because it's not that important, but they do count against you, so you do lose a few points if people do pull those hard inquiries. So the soft inquiries, on the other hand, are when you pull your credit yourself under one of those, under a service or in another method that I'm going to tell you about in a minute. Those are soft inquiries. They don't count against you, and so in my opinion, those are better. So let me move now to the different methods to obtain your credit report using those soft inquiries, again, that don't count against you. And again, if you already have a copy of your credit report, you can go ahead and move forward with that. But I'm still gonna recommend that you get your credit through one of these services, because they do have a lot of features that are going to help you down the line, like being able to refresh your credit report and get an updated copy, and again have it all done in a way that doesn't count against you. So the differences in those services are there's a free method, and then there's a bunch of services that I am going to recommend that you do have to pay for. Most of them are monthly or for a one-time fee to get a copy of your credit report. But again, that's the way to do it because it, again, is a soft inquiry. So the free method was set up as a way for consumers like yourself to get a free copy of your credit report at least once every year. Now, the advantage to this is that it's free. There are several disadvantages that I'll go over. The way to do that, just in case you want to know and do it that way, is through a website called annualcreditreport.com. And what that does is that basically, that website links you directly to each of the credit bureaus individually to get your credit report from each of those credit reports individually. So Annual Credit Report links you to TransUnion, where you can get a copy. It'll then link you to Experian, and then it'll also link you to Equifax. And again, you can get a free copy once a year from each of the credit bureaus using that service. There are a couple major disadvantages to doing it that way. The first is that what you end up with is 3 completely different credit reports. Although a lot of the information is the same, it is completely different, and there's no combining of the information. So what you end up with is 3 very long, very unusable for what we're going to be doing here, I say unusable, meaning it's just very complicated. Trust me, I've been in the business many years, and it's near impossible to go through the credit restoration process using 3 completely different credit reports obtained using annualcreditreport.com. If you absolutely have no money, not a penny to your name, and you're not that interested in restoring your credit, you just kind of want to see what's in your credit file, go ahead and go to annualcreditreport.com and get those copies. But again, for what we're doing, not very useful. The other major disadvantage, and this will become more clear down the line, but we need to bring it up now because you need to get your credit report in the beginning. But the major disadvantage to using the free credit reports obtained using annualcreditreport.com is that when you then dispute your items using that free credit report, the credit bureaus actually have a built-in system to make it easier for them to keep the negative items on your credit. They have 45 days to then respond to what we're going to be doing, which is challenging some of your negative items. So instead of 30. So a major disadvantage. Again, that's why I do not recommend getting your credit report that way, because with 45 days, there is a much better chance that your items will get verified and then not get removed off of your credit report, compared to when you get your credit report in any other manner. The bureaus, again, only have 30 days to do that investigation. So my advice is, if you're completely strapped, go ahead and get your annualcreditreport.com reports and move forward that way. But again, not at all what I recommend. I recommend using my affiliates, I have a link over on the right side of this page that will link you to one of my affiliates. And they've got several different companies that you can use to pull your credit through them. I get credit for that, so it helps me out a little bit, just to be honest with you. If you could use them, I'd prefer it. And again, I've done a lot of the research, so I've sifted out some of the ones that I don't recommend, and have left a couple of the programs that I do recommend. And several of them actually have a free trial, so it is a free way to get your report. But I always do recommend, if you have a spare, it's usually 15 or 20, some dollars a month, to stay on one of those monitoring programs. It is going to make it easier down the line when you can go back in and refresh your credit report and get a clean copy once we've gotten some of the negative items removed. So, in a nutshell, go ahead and use the links over there on the right to get a copy of your credit report. Again, most of them you'll have to give all your information, your name, your address, your social. Most of them do require that you have a credit card, so that you can actually pay. But a lot of them, again, do have a free trial period where you can get a copy of your credit report. Again, one of the advantages to that is that they, when you do it that way, the way I'm recommending, they do come with a credit score, which is very helpful to know at least your starting point, where you're starting from. The free service, the annualcreditreport.com, you don't get a score unless you pay for it. So if you're going to pay, may as well use the better service. So again, my recommendation, use the links to the right. I think it's a better way to do it. You will get better results down the road. And again, it does help me out. I'm obviously providing these videos, this complete program for free. That is one of the only ways that that I do make a little bit of money, so that helps me out. So again, that's what I recommend. Thanks for watching this video. We've got several more. Go ahead and get your credit report, and then move on to the next video. And I thank you again. Again, it's Chris the Credit Guy. Thanks for watching. And if you have any questions, you can always email me. And my email is info@christhecreditguy.com. And my website, obviously, www.christhecreditguy.com. Thanks a lot.